kids on the underground were giving Conor a hard time, as they're known to do, but it had specifically to do. So here's what happened. Let's back up. Dana came out and he polished up Khabib's wheels, gave Khabib a huge compliment, and he went to compliment Khabib. Dana said, Conor is no longer the man. Khabib is now the man. Conor then schedules a press conference for Russia, and the kids on the underground came to the conclusion that he therefore looks desperate. Now, they aren't wrong to come to that opinion. I just don't know that I share it. I'm not sure how you really tie one in together. Okay, let's unpack this thing real fast. What does it mean to be the man? Okay. In the words of the great Ric Flair, to be the man, you've got to beat the man. Well, Khabib did just that. I mean, he really did, right? He came in, he beat him. He's hot, he's fresh, he's topical, he's current, he's active. It's very fair to say that Khabib now gets the man status. But it does come back to what exactly does that mean? And I think what it would mean for you guys to interpret, there is a way that the man gets treated. Now, this isn't contractual. The promoter is under no obligation, but in many ways, Dana does, from an ethical standpoint, believe if you have achieved and succeeded a certain level, I will then give you, outside of your contract, a different level of respect in terms of being open to your suggestions and your requests, of which, for the most part, I simply don't have time for. Dana has 556 athletes under contract. You guys aware of that? Right now, today, 556 athletes are under contract who he must get 3 fights for a year or else. It's one of these things. The venues are booked. Business has to move quickly. It simply cannot stop for a phone. The dominoes that would fall if one gear comes out of place, logistically, would be a nightmare. But he does believe somebody achieves a certain level, I take the time and possibly I shift those gears and possibly the dominoes come out of place, but I'm going to do it just because it's the right thing to do. That's just something that's within him. He just personally believes it. So that is what that's what that means when he says the man. That is what that means. Now you could see where that's going to piss Conor off. Conor had a fantastic line about that, by the way. He tweeted about it. And he was talking about Khabib's fight. So here, Conor's so good sometimes. Sometimes, Conor McGregor, I gotta just sit back and go, you son of a bitch. Well done. But Khabib fought in Abu Dhabi. Khabib, to quote Ariel Helwani, is the most famous Muslim athlete alive. He fought in a Muslim culture that built a venue for him. Did you hear what I just said? The venue, the building that Khabib fought Dustin Poirier did not exist. I don't think it exists. I think they tore it down. I can't prove that. They built a building. Oh, by the way, I'm not talking about they put a tent up. It's an arena. They built it for him. This was a remarkable evening and a remarkable achievement and a remarkable compliment, quite frankly. Poirier shares in that, but to Khabib, it really was tremendous. Do any of you even have a dream? Let alone would you ever achieve? Do you have even a dream or a vision that one day a country builds an arena for you? I mean, really special. Conor McGregor dismissed it. He dismissed it in 140 characters or less in a tweet and said, a tent in a sand is what it was. Okay, now, that's just not true. It's not true, but who cares? What's the truth? The truth is whatever you can get people to believe. That's what the truth is. Conor got a whole bunch of supporters to believe that it was nothing more than a tent in the sand. Not a taxpayer-raised arena in the Middle East. A tent in the sand. You could not pick more dismissive words. Albeit incorrect. I give a damn if it's incorrect. This is the entertainment business. It's a great line by Conor. But it bothered him. I mean, nonetheless, it did bother him. And there's a certain amount of bothering that does need to be done to Conor. I mean, to keep a guy in check at times, you do got to remind him. You haven't won a fight in a minute. Matter of fact, for a while, you were in a whole different sport completely. Oh, and by the way, whatever the hell's going on, the tabloids are saying, but I mean, if there's ever a time to pull you down a notch and let you know to come back to reality, if you'd like to return home, we got a spot for you, but if you don't, we can move on. All those things happen. There was many, many different things that happened within that statement. I did think it was interesting. I'd like to get to the bottom of this press conference that Conor has. Now, I'm being a conspiracy theorist. I'm stirring the pot here. There's really no truth whatsoever that Conor is going out and Khabib's going to come out one side and the media is going to announce a fight. And oh, by the way, it's with Khabib. And that's the reason that this whole Tony Khabib thing has died off and laid low. It's actually the opposite. I'm quite sure that Khabib and Tony is done. Now, Chael, what evidence do you have? Well, I'll tell you. For a while there, Tony couldn't shut up about wanting to fight Khabib. For a while there, Dana couldn't quit talking about, yeah, and he really does need to be Tony and Khabib. I get it, the rankings, I respect him, and that's what we're going to do. For a minute there, Khabib couldn't quit saying, listen, I'll deal with GSP and I'll deal with Conor, but first, I got to fight Tony. It's just the right thing to do. For a minute there. Now all three of them, radio silent. Well, silence is just as obvious as when a guy speaks. Have you guys ever heard that about eye contact? Hey, if a guy's ever lying to you, he'll look away. He can't look in the eye. You ever heard that expression? The same is true when a guy looks you just like this and never blinks. He's lying. Just somewhere along the way, he heard the rule that if you look away, you'll look suspicious. Okay, that's what silence is. Why is Tony not calling for that fight anymore? Well, I think because he has it. Why is Khabib not still on social media saying, hey, Tony needs to be next. We got to respect the sport. We got to respect the right. Well, I think because he has it. Why is Dana not out saying, I'd like to get these guys together, but I don't know what? Something tells me because he already got them together. So I am stirring the pot fully. I am only creating conversation when I tell you it is a little bit interesting that you got a fighter going to a fight country that's about to have a fight, by the way, and happens to have the man in the same geographical location. Let's see what happens.
Uncle Chael, there's no bad guy like Uncle Chael. Never lost, not even around, undefeated, undisputed. Oh yeah, here comes the bad.